Is the 2025 bull market finally starting? Well, to answer that question right off the rip, guys, I have no idea. Anyone that's telling you they know is straight out lying to you. But what we do know is Kyron's got 5 cryptocurrencies behind him that are literally set to explode in 2025, but most importantly, beyond as well. Now, why? Well, they pretty much do an excellent job individually of capturing institutional and national demand in their own unique ways, and I just see them getting better and better over time. Now, these cryptocurrencies were chosen because they have some really important updates coming out around or before 2025, okay? So keep that in mind, and all of these cryptocurrencies we will not see this cheap in 2025 or beyond, okay? So it's very important when we talk institutional or national demand, we are talking trillions and trillions of dollars. We have no idea how much these prices are going to surge up, okay? But nevertheless, I am still giving you somewhat realistic price predictions. And I say somewhat because a lot of you guys out there are quite, skeptics, okay? So let's talk about the most important thing first, and that's my disclaimer, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I may look like one, I may talk like one, but trust me, I am not a financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes only. Now, the first project, drum roll, Mina Protocol, okay? Mina Protocol is one of my favorite, and it's got some super duper important upgrades coming out before 2025, okay? But right now, it's about $1.98, okay? And its all-time low was way back when at 52 cents, but we're only at 2.7x up from its all-time low, which is a great time to accumulate. You don't really find a great project this cheap, right? So close to its all-time low. Now, let's talk some stats, okay? So there's 1 billion max tokens with a 5% inflation rate. That's not quite scary because 70% of every single transaction is burned, and Nia's actually gone and done us a favor and worked out that 1.25 billion transactions a day equals deflationary status. That sounds like quite a lot. That's about 11,000 TPS, pushing through the whole day, which where Mina Protocol is going actually sounds very reasonable to me, right? Now, the current market cap is $1.7 billion, and the circulating supply is only 883 tokens, which is about 88% in circulation, okay? Now, the previous all-time high, this is very important because we need to find this information to account for where, demand can go up in the future, and the previous market cap all-time high was $12.4 billion with a 60% tokens in circulation, okay? So less tokens in circulation, nevertheless, it's still quite a lot of demand if you ask me, right? Now, the minimum 2025 price prediction I see going for Mina Protocol is accounting for a 1.2 billion tokens in circulation, okay? So it's very important when we're trying to work out price, we factor in circulating supply, aka supply, and also demand, aka market cap, right? Now, that's about a 2x from its previous all-time high, okay, which is quite diluted, right? So we're pretty much saying here, we're going to have double the amount of tokens in circulation from its 2 previous so-called all-time highs, all right? Now, I see the minimum market cap going to about $48 billion, which might sound like a lot, I understand, but just give me 1 second, right? That's about a 4x from its previous all-time high. Now, market cap max, I see it going to about $120 billion. Again, institutional demand is going to come, guys, and it's going to shock a lot of you. Trust me, okay? Now, that's about a 10x from its previous all-time high. And what I'm saying down here is I'm estimating my price prediction is going to be about a $50 billion market cap, which is about a $41 token. Again, we're counting for 1.2 billion tokens in circulation, which from today's prices is about a 19x. You might be thinking, Kyron, you're absolutely nuts. What are you talking about? This is some insane numbers. Well, look at Cardano, right? Cardano, 3.8x from its previous market cap, from its previous all-time high of $25 billion. And then it went up to $95 billion in 2022, 2021, right? So that's just crazy. And that just goes to show you, this is without institutional demand, guys. This is just the crypto fanboys, okay? Now, where I see the demand coming for Mina Protocol and why I'm so bullish, right? Nightshade, this is their USP. This is what their network is built around, and it isn't even completed yet, okay? So we have a lot of demand coming, and this will pretty much be in around the tipping point of the bull market. So I see that kind of pushing the price up a little bit there. It's going to give the network infinite scalability, super fast TPS, so on and so forth. Also, devs absolutely love Mina Protocol. It's the 8th highest full-time dev count in terms of actual developers, right? Which is important because developers create applications. Applications are what make people want to use the network, okay? And that kind of shows here, right? Every single day, again, the network isn't actually even completed yet, and we're having 300,000 average transactions a day. That does actually skyrocket from time to time. Again, uncompleted protocol, okay? But what's really cool is Mina Protocol has a full-time shard that's EVM compatible called Aurora, which is very important because, as we should all know, being EVM compatible is going to be a standard. You have to be EVM compatible, and these guys have a couple of bridges that they use between, Mina Protocol and Ethereum. Okay, so the next project we have is Mina Protocol, one of my all-time favorites. Right now, Mina is actually about 71 cents, and its all-time low wasn't too long ago at 42 cents. What a great time to buy, right? Only 0.7x up from its all-time low. Very, very important, which is close to its ICO price, right? Now, 1 billion tokens in distribution. There is no cap supply, and right now we're about at 10 to 8% inflation up until about March 2025, which is where we'll see a steady year-on-year 7% inflation rate. Okay, so no cap, 7% year-on-year inflation at about March 2025, aka the tip of the bull market. Okay, now the market cap right now is about $635 million, and circulating tokens is about 882 million, which is about 88% vested. Okay, vested, very important to understand. And the previous sort of stats was about $1.7 billion market cap in 2021, and its circulating supply back then was only 40% vested, so it pretty much has doubled between now and then. Okay, now what are we looking at for the minimum price prediction for 2025? Well, I'm going to go ahead and say, well, I've actually worked it out. The circulating supply is going to be about 1.35 billion tokens, and we're pushing up even further, right? Lots of tokens are in circulation, which is about a 3.4x in terms of its previous all-time high, supply, which is quite diluted, guys. But I see the market cap going to a minimum of 10x, which is about a $17 billion, and the max price prediction I see is going to be $85.25 billion, which is about a 50x. Why? I know it's quite bullish. Hear me in a sec, right? So this, I'm guessing my personal price predictions between these two numbers, I'm going to say about $33.7 billion in terms of the market cap, and about a $25 Mina token, which is a 35x from here. Okay, now this is why I'm so bullish. There's so much happening for Mina. We have instant finality coming to the network. We have this amazing thing where ZK apps, which are like the dApps on the network, can use any programming language, yes, any, to actually create their smart contracts, or their ZK app, should I say. But get this, developers can compile almost about any code, which means if they have, a smart contract on a different network, let's just say it's the AVM or Algorand virtual machine, they can compile that over to Mina. Now, it's not compatible with every single language, but they can do it with just about any, but you can definitely write them in any language, which is just incredible, right? Also, infinite scalability. They're planning on making the network horizontally scalable. Also, cross rollup interoperability, right? They plan to be able to interoperate with any network, and they're actually working on ZK Change, which will allow developers to create their own layer 2 ZK powered layer 2 chain, right? And we also have the famous ZK oracles, which I absolutely love, which allows Mina to actually, or users, to be able to plug into any sort of website, extract the data without the website even knowing, and put that on chain, which is super, super bullish. Now, the third token is Quant Network. What a shocker, right? So right now, Quant's about $122. Back at its all-time low, props to anyone that bought it back then, 21 cents, which is about a 56x up, okay? Let's talk some stats, right? This is some amazing stuff. I love Quant, right? 14.8 million max tokens. That's 29% less than Bitcoin's with zero inflation, okay? So currently the market cap is about $1.4 billion, highly undervalued in my opinion. Circulating supply is about 12 million tokens, and it's been like this for a very, very long time, pretty much since Genesis. 81% in circulation, right? Again, previous circulating supply was the exact same with a market cap of $4.65 billion, grossly undervalued. But where do I think it's going to go in future, right? I believe the minimum price we'll see, again, accounting for the circulating supply staying the same, is a minimum market cap of $37.2 billion, and on the max side, $1.86 billion. But I'm thinking I must admit, kind of conservatively, a $50 billion token, right? Market cap rather, with a $3,300 Quant token, which is about a 27x from here. I know a lot of you guys think $1,000, $2,000, but when you compare that with $50 billion and just like how far this project can really grow, considering it's interoperating the world, the network of networks, $50 billion doesn't even sound like that much, okay? And why? Well, it's got some really good token use cases, but first, again, infinite applications. It connects legacy, enterprise networks, crypto networks, private networks, even API-related applications. This guy can literally interconnect with anything and it brings it all into one place and then allows what are called maps to build on top, but we'll get there, right? So it also has a finite supply, very, very low supply. You guys have to consider the supply shock. When a limited supply, lots of demand, that's where the price goes parabolic, okay? There's also fantastic utility, as I just mentioned 2 moments ago. The Quant token is required at every single stage of the network. Also, it's a white label service, so more or less, the extent of adoption is unknown. White label service pretty much means that networks or businesses can use Quant's over-ledger network and doesn't have to actually tell businesses or people that they're using it. Matter of fact, they can go one step further and say it's their own tech. They don't have to announce that they're partnering with Quant, but the partners that are partnering with Quant are people like LackChain, very, very huge, Oracle, probably even bigger, and UST as well. So big, big players already, right? Also, as I mentioned 2 moments ago, map businesses. So the entire businesses will be created on a so-called map. It's a multi-chain application, right? Therefore relying on the Quant token, okay? Very interoperable, very powerful so-called dApps that'll be able to leverage the over-leveraged system and pick whatever network they want to interoperate with, okay? Super, super powerful. Now, fourth, right? Again, what a shocker. Hedera Hashgraph, literally probably my favorite cryptocurrency of all time, right? All-time low was just under 1 penny, okay? And currently it's about 63 cents. So that's more or less about a 5.4x up. Again, I deem that actually as quite important and a good time to DCA, at least personally, okay? Now, 50 billion max tokens, all right? So again, zero inflation. There's only ever going to be 50 billion tokens pushed out by the network, okay? Now, currently the market cap, $1.9 million, and there's about 61% of the supply, or max supply rather, in circulation, okay? Now, the market cap at its all-time high was about $6.7 billion, and it had about 30% of its tokens in circulation. Again, that's more about a 2x difference, okay? So there's quite a bit of dilution there, guys. And where do I think the minimum will be going in 2025? Well, first of all, again, count for circulating supply. People don't do this. I'm going to estimate around 37 billion tokens. The reason I say I'm going to estimate is because Hedera has come out because they're a business and said we don't really know how much is going to actually be out because they could actually increase the supply, the push more tokens into circulation than what we expect, okay? And there's a lot of reasons why. If you want to know why, watch the video up here, okay? Now, I'm going to just estimate about 10% year-on-year inflation because that's kind of what it has been in the past, which is about a 2.4x from its previous all-time high. Again, that is quite diluted. I just want to say that for a fact, okay? Now, the market cap minimum, I see it going a 6x from its previous all-time high at about $40 billion, and the max side of things going to about $203 billion, which is a 30x from its previous all-time high. Why? Hedera has so much going for it. Again, I'm going to tell you why in a sec, but nevertheless, I see a $75 billion Hedera token as quite reasonable, which is about $2, okay, which is about a 33x from today's prices. Now, this is why, right? So there's more than this, but this is some of the most important ones, okay? So 2025 upgrades, they're going to have a sharded hash graph, which just in of itself is incredible. They're going to have better scheduled transactions, almost permissionless. So they're going to be on pretty much their final sort of phases of their permissionless upgrades, and also it's infinitely scalable, right? It's very, very flexible as well. And it literally is perfect for developers. And again, I explain why in my previous videos. It's also multi-industry. Most importantly, it takes advantage of gaming, right? So the hash graph itself being the hash graph, it has fair ordering of transactions, which means you can have access to games like we've never seen before, right? Other networks just can't sort of catch up to speed with the so-called fair ordering of transactions, which is only sort of established because of the hash graph itself, right? Also appeal. This is very important, right? More appealing than its competitors because the tech and governance suit commercial customers, okay? And one of those, again, is the governance. So the governing council, right? They have connections established with the best and largest companies. Most importantly, anyone on the governing council, right, even if they're old or new, doesn't matter who, they've obviously got connections with these people, and when they ever decide to go into a certain market or industry, they can call those people up again and say, hey, could you give us a hand, maybe become an advisor, whatever it might be. So it's just unparalleled access, okay? Now, last but definitely not least, right, we have Algorand. Algorand is, again, one of my favorites, and we have a fantastic time to accumulate, only 1.1x up from its all-time low. Now, some stats, right? 10 billion max tokens. Again, what a common theme we have going on here, guys. which is pretty much a fixed supply. And right now it's about 5%, but it's diminishing, of course, until it does get to its max supply, which should be vested in 2030. Now, the current stats, right? The market cap is about $1.5 billion, and the circulating supply is about 72% in circulation. And back in the day, it had about a $13 billion market cap, with the circulating supply being a 62%. So this is probably like the least diluted we've seen so far, right? Besides obviously from Quant. Now, the minimum price prediction I see going is going to account for an 80% in circulation, which is kind of what I've found to be the most accurate based on the vesting schedule. And that's pretty much going to put about a 1.2x on its previous all-time high in terms of dilution, right? So the market cap, I see going a minimum of 3x, which is a $40 billion market cap, and the max side of things, $130 billion, which is a 10x from its previous all-time high, okay? Personally, I see this going to a $60 billion market cap and would put the price at about $7.50, and that's about a 35x from today's prices, okay? Now, finally, why am I bullish on Algorand? Well, CBDCs. Now, I had my reservations with CBDCs. I'm guessing 99% of you guys do, but one thing I've come to grips with is we're going to have to take advantage of this. It's inevitable, and we can scream to the hills and back about how bad it is and protest, but it will come, and ultimately, we want to take advantage so we can get ourselves out of the matrix, right? Very important you understand that, but it will be supported on Algorand, and there will be national demands, okay? So we're talking about trillions of dollars possibly here. Now, pure proof of stake, this is what powers the network. This is, novel to Algorand, created by Silvio Macali, the creator and founder of Algorand itself, which means the network is scalable, secure, non-forking, which gives it instant finality, super duper important, right? And very fair POS system. It's also post-quantum, meaning when quantum computers come out, very powerful computers. The most important thing is Algorand is already secure against them, okay? It's also carbon negative, which plays into this ESG narrative that we hear about that will pretty much kill most proof of work networks. And Algorand is going above and beyond. They're carbon negative, not even neutral, they're negative, okay? And also, this is super cool, right? You can actually have layer 1 dApps or networks built into the layer 1 itself, which means they're going to be super powerful and super secure, which is pretty much where I see, these guys coming into it, okay? Because they're also powered with ASAs, which are Algorand standard assets, which are very, very powerful, customizable token standard, okay? So that pretty much covers today's video, guys. I did it all in one breath, so please, this took me so much time and effort to not only record, but also get together. So if you really could, subscribe and just like the video, that would mean the world to me, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for watching. I can't wait to see you on the next video. And if you want to learn more about any of these cryptocurrencies, please click up here right now and go and watch my deep dives on each of these projects. Take care, all. See you in the next one. Bye.